I do want to talk to you about some drops that are coming up. We've been talking about the culture and all, and protecting the culture. And a lot of people are upset that some grails, some holy grails, are going to be re-releasing, or at least rumored to re-release. We got I don't think this is so much a rumor. We got the Wu-Tang Dunks that are dropping soon at some point.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. We got the Undefeateds, and what's confirmed is the Galaxy phones, for sure.
Yeah. I'm going to need at least 2.
Me too. Okay, me too. So a little sneaker shop around my way had a pair of the Blue Mirror phones, not the Chrome joints, with the Blue Mirror, which is in my documentary. You hear me say that at the time my Grail was the Mirror phones. Okay, that's something I really wanted to get my hands on. Had the Blue Mirrors. I was just about to cop them, but they had a little crack in them, and I couldn't
pull the trigger on that.
I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. So definitely Mirror phones is something I'm looking forward to, and I'm looking forward to Undefeateds, and hey, I'm looking forward to the Wu-Tang Dunks as well. But a lot of people feel like these sneakers should not even come out of the vault. Where do you stand?
I guess I'm a stand. My opinion on this is actually a lot different than everybody else's, right? Everybody's saying that stuff shouldn't come out, and I'm part of the just drop it, give me it, right?
Drop it,
because we never got a chance. I'm down, right? Yeah. So, but I'm also of this train of thought, right, where we can't, or the brands needs to not sell back the culture to people who haven't been there. So if they're thinking this is a cash grab, and this is what people are saying, that the stock is tanking, they're opening the vault, right? So the reason that is because so many times when you see a release, for example, Jordan 17, how many kids in 2005 or born 2005 that are into sneakers being like, yeah, I remember the Jordan 17? No. Maybe somebody remembers getting stomped on them with them, but nobody wants them, like it's like the shoe. And then it's like, because both of these shoes, actually, I think all three probably. Yeah. Maybe not the Galaxy phone, but definitely the Undefeated 4 and the Wu-Tang Dunk are going to have limited quantities, right? So it's going to look like
sell out crazy.
Yeah. It's going to look like, oh my God. Yeah. There's pandemonium. We need these again, right? Yeah. And even with like the Galaxy phone, I mean, we talked about it earlier. The 2016, grandmas were in front of the line selling with the kids behind them, trying to get 4 or 5 pairs because they know you can get a G each immediately on eBay, right? That's not going to have the same effect. But
the phones aren't going to go as crazy. Yeah. The Undefeated 4s are going to go completely insane. No doubt, because 4s are hot right now. Even though it's starting to cool down a little bit, but 4s are like the silhouette people like. A good pair of 4s sell out or do very well. Even ones that people are talking about, they bricked a little bit, breads and military blues or whatever they call them these, right? They still did well. Like, they just came out in big numbers. You know what I mean? There's a lot of them, but they still did very well. The resale may not be crazy, but who cares? The point is, everybody wanted a pair, and a lot of people have a pair, right? So a good pair of 4s are going to do well. If you give them in limited numbers, they're going to sell out. The Undefeated 4s are definitely going to sell. The Wu-Tangs, depending on what they do in terms of quantity, are going to sell. The Galaxy phones, I'm wondering about, because I remember they re-released all those LeBrons like last year.
Yeah,
all those
Watch the Thrones.
Watch the Thrones sat.
Galaxy, Big Bangs.
Right. They sat, and if you were a person who was like, yo, I'm about to just get a pair of Watch the Thrones because I've always wanted a pair of Watch the Thrones or Galaxy or Big Bangs or whatever, you were able to get your hands on a pair of LeBrons that you always wanted. It didn't matter if they were. So again, this goes back to what we were saying on the podcast version of this. If you're concerned about the hype and you're concerned about the resale for these things and how much they're going to resell for, then you can kick rocks.
Right.
If you're concerned, and now Nike's always going to be concerned about money because it's Nike. They don't care. They just trying to sell a shoe. 100% right, is a money grab. But it depends on the quantity of the sneaker. If it's a lot of them, I have no problem with this. I'm down because I would love to have all 3 of those sneakers in my collection, and I actually want to wear them. But if it's just another like, oh, we're going to put out like 100,000 of them and we're going to make you go lose your mind so a reseller could get their hands on them and sell them for a ridiculous amount, then I don't see the point. I don't see the point.
I mean, it will be crazy if you stroll into a Foot Locker and then there's just a pair of undefeated fours just sitting on the shelf like that. I'd be like, whoa, like
I don't see that at all. Now I don't see maybe for the Galaxy, maybe for the Galaxy. I don't see that for the fours, but what I can see is that it's such a large quantity of them, and some goofy reseller bought them up, but they just not going to sell for anything more than $400, $500, which is a lot of money, but it's not $2,000. You know what I mean? I can see that happening with the Wu-Tangs and with the undefeated fours. I don't see a scenario where they sit in the stores. I don't see that at all.
I mean, like, so onto like what the second part of my take, right? Where it's like, so we talked about it on the episode where it's like, how do we breed new sneakerheads?
Yeah.
Does opening the vault bring new sneakerheads in?
You know what? So Jaleesa asked that question, and she asked, like, you know, do young people care about this? And obviously the answer has to be no when it comes to Wu-Tang dunks. Like, they don't care about the Wu-Tang Clan. But I don't think that matters.
But the thing is, hold on, wait. So I'm not saying specifically the shoe. It's the idea, right? So what they're selling is the myth that we on the forums were spreading, right? So you'd be on, for example, Nike Talk. You'd be on Nike Talk. Somebody posts a picture of, I'm able to hold a pair of these undefeated fours. That myth stretches for years and years and years. Then Flight Club or Project Blitz shows them they actually exist. And now we are getting undefeated fours for retail. Like, they're selling the idea of being able to get the rarity to people that weren't there. What, like, and does that bring them into what we love?
No, I think it does, but you're still only dealing with sneakerheads, right? You're not. This isn't a mass thing. This isn't a Panda dunk. This isn't something that's going to, like, this isn't like even the AE1 where it's like, oh, you're just into basketball and this is like the dopest basketball sneaker at the moment, and it's bringing in a larger audience than it normally would. This is reinvigorating sneakerheads and also getting people who are interested in sneaker culture and being a sneakerhead involved, right? So that's why I don't think it's going to be like a large quantity of like the Wu-Tang dunk. I think it's going to be just enough to get people interested into sneaker culture. I don't think it's going to be like a large quantity of undefeated fours, maybe more than we think, but I think it's going to be just enough to get people there who are knowledgeable, who understands that this was a grail, this was one that people wanted, this is one that was hard to obtain, and now you have an opportunity to partake in sneaker culture the same way the guy did back in 2004, the same way the person did back in 1999 did. Same thing with Galaxy Foams. It's the first crazy resale, you know, that and the Concorde was like supposed to be the first ones. People was in line fighting all this crazy stuff. We're going to give you that opportunity to partake in something. It's a replica almost of the original one, but it's like a throwback jersey. Like, you weren't in the Dick Buckets, but that was a wild line. Yo, can't say anything, man. You were a fan of Gail Sayers. Right?
Okay. You could have went anywhere. You could have went anywhere. You went Dick Buckets.
Yeah, you got into Dick Buckets. But you know, you're not a Gail Sayers fan. You probably didn't see him play. But you know about Gail Sayers, and you want a piece of that nostalgia. So you're selling this.
To be honest, I don't see the correlation, because like with throwbacks, it wasn't about the player unless you're like into sports. It was just about
the style,
the jersey. Right? Yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about like the hype of I
know what you're talking about.
Like someone that may want to. They aren't popular now or as popular now, but if you want to start getting people into collecting replica jerseys that like you put like in a frame, right? Not something you put on your body. Then you use an older player to try to get like a new generation of people into collecting. I feel like that's what's happening. Nike's doing it to make money. But I feel like the thing that can happen that's unintentional is new people get into sneaker culture because they're doing something that their uncle was able to do or wish he could do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I think is the positive of it. But beyond the fact that I may be able to get some undefeated fours because I just want them.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there is the positive. The negative is, and just to wrap up, let me know what you think about this. The negative is it's a money grab. You're taking a little bit of the shine off of this museum sneaker. You know what I mean? And it's kind of pointless. Maybe.
I think I agree with you in all points. I also think if you add on, it doesn't tarnish the original shoe.
No.
Because like...
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Yeah.
Because it's like... And that's in the case for all three, right? Because... Yeah. That's what I think that was my Twitter post, right? Where it was just like I posted like, you know, it's fine because we get the shoe.
Yeah.
And like something unattainable becomes obtainable.
Yeah.
But now you tarnish the idea of it being obtainable. Like my Grail, it's obviously it's the Flom. I talk about the Flom. It's my favorite shoe. There's only so many pairs. But under that is the Orchard Street Dunk. Right? Yes, if Nike was like, yo, we're dropping the Orchard Street Dunk, I'd be hyped. I'm like, yo. But I know there's only I think there's like 36 pairs, something like that, some super limited thing. It wasn't even a collaboration with Nike. It was a specific one shoe. And now they're just like, everybody gets a pair. You get the Oprah treatment. Hey, you get a pair. And now to me, it's like, cool, I got it. But now I have nothing. Now it's off the list. Now I have nothing to obtain or like, you know, like Floms, both these sneakers at the top of my list. Yeah. Well, if I like, and it's funny because I have like a stipulation for it. If I ever was like, yo, I got bread. Yeah. I got bread. Like 15 grand is nothing for me. I'm copping. And now if it's like, yo, we're dropping Floms, we're dropping Orchard Streets in the next 2-3 months, it's kind of like, all right, I guess I hit my Grails. Like that's it. It's just, so perfect example is the Bacons. Right. Bacon's Grail, obviously for me. Yeah. Bought 2 pairs. Right. Yeah. I literally, it's behind me, burned them down to the ground. I still wear them in the rain. Right. Because I love that.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah. My Bacons are cooked.
Yeah. And it went nowhere. It just sat for everybody. It just sat. So because of that, everybody's perception of that shoe is that it's sat. But for me, from before that shoe drop, it was, I can't wait. Hopefully these retro, I need these, right? Yeah. So it changes the narrative, and I feel like it loses people. And I feel like that's what's gonna happen is because these are like sneakerhead Grails. If you're on the forums and you're like, yo, hopefully I can even hold. I just want to be able to hold a pair. Yeah, I just want. And now it's like they coming out. Now you can get them. Yeah, and it's kind of like, oh, okay, you know.
But I feel like that's how life goes, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how life goes, you know. And so, but I get it though. I get it. Sneakerheads always have to have something to reach to.
Yeah.
But,
and I think, that's also. I think this leads to people not thinking like new sneakerheads will be like, oh, I don't gotta rush to these sneakers now. I can just wait. Yeah. Like, and then it becomes like everybody's just waiting for sneakers, and it could just have a really bad trickle effect because now we're losing that luster of like, I got my Grail list. These are my Grails. These are unobtainable. Yeah. And now, you know, it just loses it, in my opinion.
For sure. And I mean, you know, there's no answer to this.
No,
I think it's definitely pros and cons. You know, I mean, waiting. If you gotta wait, all right, you wait 20 years, then it may re-release. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you want to wait that long, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's the worst idea in the world. I definitely don't think it's anything to get all worked up about. I think it's you know, I think it can be cool, especially if you're just interested in having something and you want to actually wear them. Mm-hmm. If you want them to sit, like we were talking about on the pod, if you want them to sit and they're gonna earn you $20,000 in the future, probably not gonna happen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But like you said, it doesn't take away from the original releases at all, because you can still say these are our original pair of undefeateds. Like you could tell these are original pair of Galaxy phones. These are original pair of the Wu-Tang dunks. Those things are still going to be worth a lot of money. So fear not.
I mean, I'm not looking at that. I'm just looking at. I'm trying to get a pair. Like, just let me hold it. Let me hold them.
I want to hold them. Okay.
Just let me hold them. That's it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you too, Adam.